It's another episode of the Hot Tech Biz. I'm still your host, but as usual, we get guests. We host new faces for you to get to know more about the entertainment industry and anything else. So today, I'm with the one and only MacJosh. He's a gospel artist and a music producer, but I would like to give him some time, to give him the opportunity to introduce himself to you so that you can get to know him better before we dive deep into the questions. So, MacJosh.
Hello, greetings everybody. My name is MacJosh. I'm a gospel artist, a producer, a songwriter. I do sound, I do a lot of things, but above all, I'm a Christian and a believer, and I'm into ministry. Yes.
Yeah, so people would like to know, most gospel artists, when asked, they would be like, it was a calling. Some would be like, it's what I felt like doing.
Okay.
So in your perspective, was it your passion or a calling?
God speaks to people in different ways. Some people it will be through dreams. Some people it will be through, open visions. For me, I started doing music way before getting to know that maybe it was a calling or a purpose or something that I could do for ministry. Actually, it is very funny. I loved music, but how I started to get into music was maybe to find another thing that I could do, because I used to do acrobatics when I was much younger. So I got like a very serious injury. So when I got the injury, my mom was trying to find something else that could occupy my time so that I go away from acrobatics. So that's how I started learning piano. So as you go on, as you progress in life, certain things start to become clearer and you get to know, maybe there was a reason as to why God wanted me to do A, B, C, D, E. So yeah, that's how I started. Yeah,
so everything literally happened for a purpose. So you said you started doing music way back.
Yes.
So like for how long have you been?
I started playing keyboard in keys. I started playing piano in 2014. So that was way back. I was still in school. So, and then I started doing sound in church. That was before I started singing. I could sing, but I was so much of an instruments guy. So I was playing keys a little bit, and then started doing sound, started learning how to mix sound, mixers and all that. And then when I went to high school, I met a lot of friends who are now into like serious music, who knew a lot. So I started to now get like inspirations of writing stuff. Of course, it was very amateur. I can't play it for anyone. But then I started, so it kept growing like that. So when I started writing music, of course, my knowledge of doing sound and playing keys helped me much better. So then I attempted to go to a studio to record a song. And that's when I found out it was very expensive.
That's fast.
So I was like, you know what? I know how to do sound. I know how to play keys. I can write. Why
do I need to?
Why? I think it's a better idea if I just learn the production, add it to the other skills, and so I dedicated a few, like 2-3 years to learning production. Yeah, that's how it all started.
Most people, when they join the industry, both music and entertainment,
Yeah.
for example, you've been in church before music.
Yes.
You become a gospel artist. Yes.
Okay.
That's like church connecting.
Yes.
But then at some point, they're no longer going to church. So they no longer want to have the life they had before.
I would say it's about priorities and at what time and at what stage of your life. At a certain stage of your life, education is supposed to be the priority before anything else. For example, even if you let me say you're talented as a football player or singer, but you're like 15, 14. As much as you're pursuing this, but at that stage of your life, the number one priority is education and school. So the thing is about what comes first. like among your priorities. So I would say God as God is more interested in you knowing him and having a relationship with him than actually you serving him, because you're trying to serve a God that you yourself don't know or don't have a relationship with. So you're supposed to have a relationship with God first and be at a certain place, and then invite people through your ministry to that place. So my relationship with God comes first beyond the music. I've tried to write music before when I'm, should I say, a bit distant, when I'm kind of detached, and it doesn't happen. You can write from a place of skill, but it's the spirit of God. When a song is coming from a certain place of a relationship with God, it makes a difference. So yeah.
So in that process of producing, writing, so how do you come up with the song? Do you start like most people? They'll just play a beat and then they get the words. Some people just have the lyrics and then start looking for the beat.
For the track, yeah.
Yeah. So what process do you mainly follow?
Well, for me, every song is a bit different. Sometimes I get the inspiration, since I'm a producer. Okay, now, for some people, when they're maybe only writers and singers, they'll maybe go look for a beat and then try to write something. So that means that track, the beat, is kind of dictating how you should move, how you should flow. Yeah. So some people would prefer to start with the lyrics and melody first, so that now the beat is structured in a way that follows what they had before. So for me, it's different. Sometimes I get the inspiration of the beat first and then write the lyrics. Sometimes I get the inspiration of the lyrics and melody first, and then I have to create a beat that will fit that. So yeah, and it also depends on how I'm feeling on that, the mood of that song.
Okay, so we've seen you on Spotify.
Okay.
So about the Spotify, how do you get there? Like, what made what made you boom, like, to the level that you're on right now?
I would say, of course, I'm not where I started from, but I still have a long way to go according to the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
In the Bible, God told Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, you see? So if you're seeing yourself as an artist for only Kampala, your vision will be there. So you will not feel the need to get onto certain platforms or to know how certain things work, you get. So I would say just consistency and also following God. Yes. I may want to, if today I wake up and I'm trying to follow into the steps of a person who was called to be a videographer, even if I do exactly what they're doing, I may not get there because that's not the path God has chosen me to take. So certain things come effortless without a lot of strength and energy, just because I am in the right place or right path God has chosen for me. But also it takes time. I have been doing music for a while. People think I started yesterday. It also takes time. So people need to learn patience, but also knowledge and exposure. The Bible says that see a man who is diligent in his works, he shall stand before kings and not mean men. Kuba kuwa scripture.
Gospel artist.
He shall stand before kings and not mean men. So you have to, practice excellence in your works. Even if a song does not have a video, but at least make the artwork at least look nice, I would say for most of the, I would want to say creatives or people in the art industry, some of the challenges stem from financial stuff, The cost of doing things is a bit expensive. Also, the connections and the exposure, You reach out to someone, blue ticks.
Exactly.
But I would say for most of the challenges, after some time you get to realize that those challenges maybe made you a better person. And also I've gotten some connections that would have been harder to get if I was just an artist. So some people reach out to me as a producer. Some artists benandi wadenonya that the guys I would be looking for, They look for me because I'm a producer. And now the artist MacJosh comes and says, I was looking for you. So the challenges are, the connections. Some things need a little bit of exposure, but this generation, this era that we are in, there is the internet. You can learn stuff. You can connect with someone who is in Nigeria, who is in where, so there is information, and also pray. Some of the things are not in the caliber of hard work and all that. Favor speeds up things, so yeah.
Okay, what inspired you mostly?
So I would say at a certain point of my life, I got a certain knowing. I don't know how I can explain it, but I got to a certain knowing, and I knew I would either become an artist or a producer or a videographer or all of the three at once. So there are certain things that I loved as a person deep in me. So now I started to kind of look for people who do that kind of thing at that time. So when it comes to like music, I was so much inclined to like Afrobeats, but of course gospel, Afrobeats, urban, and that period, that's when I got introduced to Levixon in Uganda, and a few other Nigerian artists like Limo Blaze, Marizu, Cold Out, So, but because I was also trying to learn production at the same time, among the producers who inspired me a lot was Nessim Pan Production. He's from Uganda. Then there is Chris Beats. He's from Nigeria. There is another guy, I think he's called Spiroch. Such kind of things. But it was mostly from a place of there is something. I don't know if it happens to people when you want to do something and you've not seen it yet, and you're like, I don't know how I can start to do it. And then you're lucky or blessed to find someone who does it. And then now they give you sort of like a blueprint to follow. Now you have someone to learn from. So that's pretty much what happened to me. But over the years, as you grow, I've even found more other people now to learn from here and there and there. Yes.
As we close the episode of the Hot Take, I would like you to give your last remarks to your fans, the viewers, and to every person who has passion for what you're doing right now. You can also shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
I might do something crazy. But anyway, to everybody out there watching, I don't know, I could have like a million things to say. But one thing I would say, first of all, the desires you have, of course the good ones, not the bad ones. I'm saying the positive ones. There is a reason as to why God planted that kind of seed in your heart. And some things may look like they are far off or impossible to achieve, but, take the necessary steps, seek advice, find someone to follow who does what you're already doing. Don't try to do at their scale. They might be investing millions of money that you don't have yet, but the inspiration, learn a few things here and there, but also seek God. Seek God. It is very pointless investing money and time without God or in the wrong field, and then you discover 20 years later that I wasn't supposed to be a producer. I was supposed to be a poet or a doctor. And ministry does not end only in the creative side of things. You can be a doctor, but God has called you to serve in that, and you have like a special touch or a special gift God has given you. So follow that dream. There is a reason as to why God has given you that passion, and seek God on everything. If you want to reach out to me on social media or any other platform, my name is MacJosh, MSCJOSH, no space. Anywhere that you put that name, anywhere, I am V1.
So that has been it for today's episode. I am Atwine Faith, your host of the Hot Tech Biz, and continue liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and let's catch up in the next episode. Thank you for staying tuned in, and we love you. Adios.